Hi guys, this is a continuation of the last video.
Visitors to Uluru see a huge rock standing in a desert, but they also see a place that has sacred links to Ananu history. Paintings decorate caves. Inside, the rocks are worn smooth from people sitting on them during ceremonies for thousands of years. The Ananu ask visitors not to climb Uluru out of respect for their ancestral spirits. Each year, more and more people honor this request. The Ananu want visitors to learn more about their culture. At the Cultural Center, visitors are taught the value of caring for the desert lands. If you sit quietly in places such as Uluru, you begin to understand what inspires First Nation peoples all over the world to honor their natural environment and beliefs. These incredible places deserve to be honored as sacred cultural sites.
Which point of view is supported by the details in the chart?
The Australian government is the true owner of Uluru. Tourists from other countries should avoid visiting Uluru. People should respect Anagu beliefs about Uluru.
Now, read Please Don't Climb. While we read, we'll examine how the points of view of both authors are alike and different.
Visitors began climbing Uluru in the late 1930s. In 1985, Uluru was handed back to the traditional owners, Ananu. Ananu created a fact sheet to explain why they would ask that visitors please don't climb Uluru. As visitors learned more about Ananu culture and their wishes, the number of visitors climbing Uluru began to drop. On October 26, 2019, the climb was closed permanently. We Ananu have a responsibility to teach and safeguard visitors to our land. The climb can be dangerous. Too many people have died while attempting to climb Uluru. Many others have been injured while climbing. We feel great sadness when a person dies or is hurt on our land. We worry about you, and we worry about your family. Our traditional law teaches us the proper way to behave. That's a really important sacred thing you are climbing. You shouldn't climb. It's not the real thing about this place. The real thing is listening to everything. Why was the Uluru climb closed on October 26, 2019? We asked visitors not to climb Uluru due to its spiritual significance as the traditional route of the ancestral Mala men on their arrival at Uluru. We prefer that visitors explore Uluru through the wide range of guided walks and attractions on offer in the park.
How is this part of Please Don't Climb similar to Uluru, a mystical monolith?
Both explain how Uluru is to the Anagu, how important Uluru is to the Anagu. Both tell about when the Anagu lost control of Uluru.
Fill in the blanks to explain how the point of view in Please Don't Climb is different from the point of view in Uluru, a mystical monolith.
Please Don't Climb was written by Anagu people. It expresses their own beliefs about Uluru.
The climb was physically challenging and could be dangerous. At least 35 people died while attempting to climb Uluru, and many others were injured. At 1,142 feet, Uluru is as high as a 95-story building. The climb was very steep and could be very slippery. It could be very hot at any time of the year, and strong wind gusts could hit the summit or slopes at any time. Every year, people were rescued by park rangers. Many suffered injuries such as broken bones, heat exhaustion, and extreme dehydration. Most of the people who visited Uluru in the years leading up to the climb closure chose not to climb. They chose not to climb for many reasons, but most people told us it was out of respect for Ananu.
What did climbers do to Uluru?
They were down the rock.
What information in this part of the passage is not included in Uluru, a mystical monolith?
Why climbing Uluru is dangerous.
The Making of a Mountain by Christine Graff. Read carefully. You only...
More than 2 million tourists visit South Dakota's Mount Rushmore National Monument each year. Also known as the Shrine of Democracy, it is located in the Black Hills National Forest. This amazing monument is carved into Mount Rushmore. It includes 60-foot-high carvings of the faces of Presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt. The idea for a giant stone monument came from South Dakota historian Doane Robinson. He was looking for ways to bring tourists to the state. In 1923, he thought about hiring a sculptor to carve rock in Custer State Park. He wanted the carvings to show heroes of the West. He suggested explorers Lewis and Clark, U.S. Army Scout Buffalo Bill Cody, and Lakota Chief Red Cloud. Robinson hired Gutzon Borglum, an American artist, to create the carvings. Borglum realized that the rock in Custer State Park could not be carved, so he suggested using nearby Mount Rushmore instead. He also recommended that the carvings be of famous U.S. presidents.
How did Gutzon Borglum change the original idea for Mount Rushmore?
He wanted the carvings to be more than 60 feet tall.
Borglum began working on the project in 1927. He chose the presidents that would appear on the monument. Borglum selected presidents who stood for the birth, growth, preservation, and development of the United States. He chose America's first president, George Washington, to represent the birth of the nation. Jefferson, the president who doubled the size of the country with the Louisiana Purchase, was chosen to represent growth. Lincoln was honored for keeping the Union together during the Civil War. Roosevelt was chosen for the work he did to grow the economy. Washington's head was completed first in 1930. Jefferson's head was completed in 1936, Lincoln's in 1937, and Roosevelt's in 1939. President Franklin Roosevelt spoke at the 1936 ceremony for Jefferson's carving. He described the monument as something for the American people that will last not merely through generations, but for thousands and thousands of years. It remains a lasting reminder of the important ideas on which our nation was established. It is also a reminder of Goodson Borglum, a man who wasn't afraid to dream big.
Which point of view is best supported by the details in the chart?
Mount Rushmore is a great monument honoring U.S. presidents. Mount Rushmore should have become a national park before 1941. Goodson Borglum deserved respect for carving Mount Rushmore. Thomas Jefferson is the most famous president on Mount Rushmore.
Now, read On Stolen Land by Louise Roy.
Some visitors to Mount Rushmore feel pride or respect for the U.S. presidents carved into the mountain. But others are angry at the monument, and for good reasons. In 1868, the U.S. government made an agreement with the Sioux Nation and other tribes. This agreement set up the Great Sioux Reservation, which included the Black Hills. However, when gold was discovered there in 1877, the government broke the agreement and took the land back from the Sioux. When the Mount Rushmore monument was carved on that stolen land 50 years later, the Sioux were upset. Because the monument honored U.S. presidents, it also honored the U.S. government, which had taken their sacred land.
What is one reason the Sioux were upset about Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore stopped the Sioux from mining gold. Mount Rushmore was built on traditional Sioux land. Mount Rushmore wanted The Sioux wanted Mount Rushmore to have a better name. The Sioux wanted different presidents on Mount Rushmore.
Fill in the blanks to tell how the point of view in this part of the passage is different from the point of view in The Making of a Mountain.
Thinks Mount Rushmore is an important achievement. The Sioux, they'll feel that Mount Rushmore does not respect their culture. The others agrees with. Bye-bye, that's all for you today. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.